Hello, this is Arnold. Now, put the cookie down. Jake is here, taking you home. No, don't listen to that station. Listen to this station, the #1 station. It's Jake. No, put the cookie down.
Speed 97.8, it's Jake with you on your Friday afternoon, and it's not just me in the studio today. We are joined by two very special guests, Majestic and Hayley May.
Yeah. Hi.
How's it going, Majestic? You've just been on a 24-hour travel from America, right?
Yeah, and I still gave you the energy there. You like that, didn't you?
Loved it.
That's the Friday pump.
Brilliant. Hayley, have you just come from the UK?
Yeah, just from London yesterday.
Wicked.
But no sleep on the plane, so
None at all.
still feeling it, yeah.
Oh, no, sometimes they're the worst, aren't they? So we're going to start off with the basics. Majestic, how did the name come about?
It's a rubbish story, but you can have it if you want.
Yes.
So my real name is Kevin Adam Christie, yeah? When I was 12, I got my first pair of decks, and my dad was like, "Oh, how you getting on, son?" I was like, yeah, all good. Got a DJ name? Yeah, I'm going to stick with my initials. So I tagged it in my loft where my decks were, DJ KAC. My dad goes, "You know that says DJ CAC, right? It's not a good word to use, son." I was like, "Oh, yeah, actually, it's not good. Yeah, Majestic's better." So it's literally, that is it. That is genuine story.
I love it. And you sort of started out as a garage MC as well, right? So how did that start, and then how did you go into production?
Well, I always I DJ'd first because I got the decks when I was 12, and I was making beats from when I was about 12. And
wow.
and obviously I was MCing. That's what I wanted to do. And especially within garage, I kind of did everything that could be done. And I was just like, well, there's nothing else to do. I was EZ's MC. That's the pinnacle, isn't it? That's like playing for Manchester City. Yeah. When EZ asks for you to be the MC, you're like, yeah, I've done it all. And then you realise, hang about, the DJs get paid a lot more and they get a lot more of the limelight. So I was like, no, do you know what? It was a conversation with Mr. Jam back in 2012.
Wow. And
he said to me, "Madge, why are you MCing for DJs that you're better than?" Not saying I'm better than EZ, by the way. Other people. And he's like, do everything. So yeah, that was that. So yeah, transitioned into that, and then obviously gone on to be a platinum selling producer DJ now.
Wicked, mate. Fair play, big up, man. And Hayley, have you always been into dance music? I mean, I could list the songs we play with you featured on. How did you start with the singing and then getting into dance tracks?
Well, the singing, I've always been to like soul music, always R&B, so old school, and just from that, I think I just met a manager who introduced me to the dance sort of world, and it was the first people I worked with Just Kidding.
Wow.
Coincidentally, I've got a track that came out on Friday, actually, that I'm vocaling. We wrote back in maybe 2016.
Yeah.
It only came out on Friday, so...
Crazy.
Yeah.
Why did that take so long then to
I don't
drop?
know. I don't know. So that happens sometimes. Sometimes you just forget about the tunes. Sometimes you pitch them out and then no one's picking them up. And then eventually someone's interested and it's like just happened. So...
Wow.
So it's mad that they were the first ones I worked with in the dance sort of world. And
now I'm going to bring up Joel Corry. You were on Joel Corry, sorry.
Yeah.
But before that, my favourite Joel Corry track, Good as Gold. You also did that.
Yeah.
No one really knows about that one.
Well, do you know what? Surprisingly, a lot of people say that to me. And I'm like, oh, really? There's a few people. Someone I met in Amsterdam, some girl that loves my stuff. She's like, her favourite is that. I was like, really?
Just
I didn't
bangs.
think anyone knew, yeah. So we did that one. That's the first time I met him.
Right.
Me, him and Lewis together. And then we did Fallen, which was the second one of his, and then Sorry. And then that just went...
Crazy.
Yeah,
it
was wild.
That is mad. Now, Majestic, Rasputin.
Yes.
That is, can we say that's one of the biggest tracks you've done?
That is the biggest track I've done. Like, the numbers on it are stupid. On Spotify alone, it's like 410 million now. And
wow.
Actually, I have Dubai to thank for it as well, because it was 2021. Things were like locked down everywhere around the world. I came over to here to play. The moment we got here, they changed the laws, so I couldn't play. And I just needed to get away and have a new headspace because I was so frustrated at home. Literally the day after I come back from Dubai, I made Rasputin, and
wow.
it was funny because we was in the Airbnb where I was staying, and was like, I need to feel refreshed. I needed some ideas, and then I went through TikTok, saw that Rasputin was popping off on there, and I was like, right, I'm gonna do a little remix of this for my sets. And then all of a sudden, did it, sent it to my A&R at Ministry, and he was like, okay, this is special. And then and lo and behold, it went, I think it's platinum in 9 countries, gold in 8, and it's mad journey. But it was weird because it was during lockdown, so like, I was every day is like, right, man, you've got an interview with Ecuador today. I'm like, okay. I'm like speaking like with translators on Zoom, so it was a strange one. But But it's nice now to go around the world and see it pop off, you know, like.
Yeah, for sure. And we've played a lot of your tracks and remixes as well. One of the ones we played from the start of when we launched as well was "You Remind Me."
Yes,
the Neon point.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only a few 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. Do you know what? I've been in dances before, and people have asked me for that tune, and I kind of just sometimes you do remixes, and Hayley will say this as well. Like even you do a tune or a feature. You just do it and you kind of park it and don't think anything much of it. And then people ask you for it and you look at the numbers like, oh, actually, this is connected with people. So, yeah, I actually remember doing that remix in Athens airport. I was I was in the airport in Athens and I was like, oh, I've got the deadline to finish. So let me get this remix done. And I've done it there on a flight waiting to go to Zante.
So what's your production process like? What sort of software do you use? How does it go about?
Ableton. I love Ableton. I've been using Ableton for like 10 years now. I've got such a, I don't know, I call it a raw production style because I come from using Fruity Loops when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I kind of always brought that into whatever I use. So like the way I build beats is very unorthodox because I'm just messy. Like I'm a creatively messy person. So for me, it's all about the vibe rather than the particulars, you know? Mm-hmm. That's why I work with amazing people like Lee Tyler and Jay Robinson. So I'll come up with loads of ideas and vibes and I'm like, right, guys, make this sound sick, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll send them, and then that's why Rasputin sounds so good because Lee mixed it. So if you listen to what my Ableton file sounds like and then what he ended up with, you know, you can hear Rasputin, but what it comes out of at the end is a different process. So, yeah, I'm the ideas guy. I like to build tunes. And when people come to me to like write bass lines and that, because, you know, I play guitar, I play piano, I was in a band, I used to be a bassist. So,
wow.
Yeah, like I'm the music man.
Love it. That's wicked. Now, Hayley, I mean, you've done so many collaborations with loads of different artists. Mm-hmm. Has there been a favourite to work with?
I don't know. Everyone's really quite different. I like working with Lee Foss. I've done 2 with him.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know Lee before. He reached out to me on email, and when I said to a few people, someone called Lee Foss, he's got in touch with me. They're like, oh, amazing. I was like, because I'm not really like a dance person. Okay. I've not really been into it too much. I'm very much like the soul, R&B, hip hop. That's what I've always loved. That really
shocks us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Most people, it does most people, to be honest. But I think a lot of DJs do want that soulful element, and I think like, you know, the old 90s tunes with the big vocal.
Yeah.
A lot of people do want that still, and I know I can deliver that. And to be honest, when I'm writing a lot of it, I tend to want to write to chords, just pianos or guitar, slow it down, write it as sort of an R&B track in a way, and then they can develop it as
fusion. And
yeah,
that's amazing. Now, you mentioned Lee Foss. Last time Saffron Stone was over, she let it slip that Lee Foss is a bit of a talker, talks a lot. Is that true?
Well, he does. He's got a lot of ideas. He's very involved in the creative process, very involved lyrics, very involved with the ideas for all the song. You know, he's rang me at all hours before, just saying, "Oh, I've got this idea. Let's do this," and give me idea for lyrics and melody and everything. So,
in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
And he's been really like welcoming. You know, he said, you know, when you're over in the States, come over. You can stay with me. He's got a studio there, so hopefully I can do that next year.
That'd be an adventure as well, wouldn't it?
Would be amazing. Yeah, definitely.
Do you have like a dream collab, a dream person you'd love to do something with?
I think Majestic is my dream
I need
one.
to say that.
Yeah,
we
it's true. We actually
to be
have
fair,
one.
we actually do have a tune coming.
We do. I'm excited. I'm waiting.
It's a big tune, to be fair. We wrote 2 good tunes on that day.
We did.
It was a very organic, easy session.
Yeah.
Hayley's great company. She's easy to be around, man.
Yeah.
Do we know when this is going to drop?
When I get my finger out.
Exactly.
It's on me. It's my fault. And every time your manager messages my manager's like, yeah, sorry, he's like travelling.
Yeah.
He'll be back next week. All right, but I am back next week, and it's actually in the diary to do next week.
Yeah, no, I know
amazing.
that sounds like because he's here, but honestly, I think we get on so well, and I think together, if we had a tune, because obviously I've been imagining Ibiza and shows him before, went to Sundown Festival, you know, here, and it'd be good to have one together and like share the stage together. I think that'd be great. I really want
definitely.
That. Yeah.
I've seen your parties in Mallorca. That looked sick.
Yeah, we've had a good summer. Ibiza, we did about 16 shows. Mallorca and BCM. We was here, there, everywhere. All the festivals back home. It was a great summer, and it was just nice to be the first one proper traveling again. You know, and you know, even some of my friends who I sort of during lockdown I sort of got in touch with from school. They'd never seen my schedule at its peak, and now they're like, bro, where are you? I'm like, I'm on a flight here. They're like, this is mad, bruv. I swear you was in another country yesterday. I was like, yeah, this is what it is. So, yeah, it's nice to be back in the flow.
How does that affect you, all this travelling, mentally?
It can be hard. It can be really difficult, like especially with your mental health. That's why traveling with people. So obviously Louis with me today. He does all like my videos and pictures, and that. He's a genius himself. He's like my protege. Him and his mate Will, beyond Chicago. Big up them. So it's nice to travel with people and share the experience. You know what I mean? It's a cost at your own cost, but I'd rather spend money and have a better time. And if, as I say, for your mental health, being on your own. I remember doing it like years ago, and I was like, I've been on my own for 16 hours and not spoken to anyone. I remember literally going from all these different airports. I said, I've not actually opened my mouth today and said any words to anyone. But yeah, this is a bit bad. So yeah, it can be difficult, but I think it's just about the team you have around you, man. Having a team of people around you is so important.
For sure. And talking about mental health, can we talk a little bit about your track Invincible?
Wow. Yeah, man.
How did that come about? Obviously, for the right reasons, you donated the proceeds to the mental health charity.
So I'm an ambassador for Calm, which is the campaign against living miserably. And so I have another persona called Plain Old Kev, which is music that I like to call just like really truthful, honest music of mine that just doesn't suit dance music, because, people want to have a good time and get lost on the dance floor. They don't really want to worry about their problems. So, the Plain Old Kev project is very much inspired by like the streets, early example, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Invincible was something I wrote about my own struggles and my own journey through mental health, and being at the stage of being suicidal before, and some really difficult times that I've gone through, and I wanted to put it down on record so anyone else listening to it can go, you know what, wow, like I'm there, or I feel like I'm in that position at the moment, and the words can resonate. And the amount of people that message me afterwards saying, I'm so glad you did that, I've been there, I felt like that, and I don't feel alone now. And I think that's obviously the biggest thing when we talk about mental health for men especially, is like, we don't talk enough. Like we get together, might go down the pub or play a bit of footy, and it's all banter, and it's just like, how are you, mate? Yeah, I'm all good, and no one really talks. So that was about just being honest and opening up. And I think especially having a platform like that I have, I think it's important to use it for good. So that's why I was passionate about putting that out.
Mad respect, man. Really good, really good. Hayley, for singers starting out, trying to get onto the scene, do you have any advice for them?
I'd say, like, do what you actually love to do.
Okay.
For sure, at least put an element in it. And the industry's a difficult one because it depends what lane you want to be in. In terms of the dance stuff, it's a good one to be in because you're able to pitch to different artists. It's not like an artist project where you have to tailor it to someone in particular. It's quite open, which is nice. But I'd just say just write as much as possible, and also with other people. When I started out, I was alone a lot writing, and it's only relatively recently really that I've worked with more people and just get so many more ideas from other people and be open to that, because before it was a bit difficult for me. You've got to learn to compromise, I suppose. But yeah, I'd say just surround yourself with people who are sort of in the similar mind state as you as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, I over the summer, I've seen quite a few of your live PAs.
Yeah.
But for anyone who hasn't seen them, what can we expect tonight?
Well, I would be I'd try to pick the ones that I think people know the most, because they're not necessarily my favourite ones as such, but I just think that they've been, pushed more than others. But I definitely think that there'll be high energy. It's all in the set, it all flow nicely. And obviously with Sorry, that tends to go down really well. So hopefully I can bring the energy and just like interact with the crowd. It's nice to get a vocalist on during a set with all the DJs, because it just brings a different element. So hopefully the crowd are going to, respond well to that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Honestly, cannot wait. And Majestic, I know we're talking about the garage earlier, now sort of house tracks, remixes, you're doing a lot of genres. And the music genre, in the dance music house world, it's always changing in trends and stuff. Where do you see yourself going? Are you going to go in any direction, or? You
know what? You look at people like, say, Carl Cox. Yeah, Carl Cox is a legend, certified OG. I was playing jungle once upon a time, hardcore. People have you kind of go through music scenes organically. Like I was involved in dubstep because, funny enough, on the way back from LA, I saw Skrillex on the plane and caught up with Skrillex, and
Wow.
I was on about 5 of his records. My voice was, and it was just like, we was catching up and having a chat. I've been involved in drum and bass. I AMC'd with Andy C. Like I've been through all of these dance musics because I love them. It's not because they're phases or, I want a bit of that action or whatever. It's just because I genuinely like these sounds.
Right.
So I just play or make what I like. So whatever I'm feeling at that moment in time, whatever inspires me, I'll make it. You know, even with garage, like sometimes I'm inspired because I'll have a remix come through and it's Craig David, and I'm like, well, Craig just sounds amazing on two-step. So every time I do a Craig David remix, they're like, okay, even though I'm playing and making a lot more house music now, for old time's sake, I'll make a two-step version. And then recently I did a remix of Sugar Babes, Overload.
Yes.
They've been performing it on their tour around the UK, and it was my two-step version, and it's like dark garage from like 2000, and there's this whole new sort of young garage scene that's coming through, and they're all battering that tune, and it's just like I said, I just make what I feel, and I think that's the best thing. And you know, shout out to Depeche at Ministry, who's like my A&R. He gives me a lot of confidence to kind of be sort of experimental. He's like, mate, you're a goat, you're an OG, do whatever you want. And I was like, okay, cool. That gives you when the boss of Ministry of Sound is telling you that, you can kind of okay, cool, I will then. You know, and that's why I'm not afraid to dip back into sounds either, you know, especially when you can feel it coming back round again. Like speed garage is in again. There's a lot, you know, look at Baddest of Them All. You know, it's 137 beats per minute with an old riff from the rave scene. So, yeah, I just enjoy whatever makes me want to make music, man.
Yeah, I love it. And I didn't get to see this properly because it's literally as you guys arrived, I was on my phone, came down. Have you got a new remix out? Is it today?
Yeah, Anne-Marie and H. And
Yeah.
completely.
I just saw, I was like, oh.
This is the music scene for you, because they came to us the other week and was like, we need a remix now. I'm like, what do you mean now? Like, can you finish it by tomorrow? And I'm like, well, I'm travelling, but yeah, okay, cool. So I literally did it. They come back with some notes, finished their notes, done. And it's out this week. And even I was like, oh, is it out today? Okay, cool.
That's mad.
I know, it is like that. But yeah, Anne-Marie and H with Psycho, done a little flip on that. Anne-Marie's sick, man. So
Yeah.
I've done her, what's the one I called? I just called, yeah, that one, when I just called to say I hate you. I love Anne-Marie, she's sick.
Yeah, wicked. Well, honestly, Majestic, Hayley May, thank you so much for coming through today. Don't want to keep you guys for too long. Get ready for
thank you for
tonight.
having
Very
us.
excited.
I can't wait, man.
Yes, I am. Can't wait. I can see my whole world changing.